Hello, welcome back. My name is Ruby, and today I'm going to be talking about love and loss. What Fantasia say? Sometimes you gotta lose to win again, and there's some Friday who says all the wins ain't worth that loss. Um, Both of those songs have a negative perspective, kinda, but I guess the Fantasia one was a little more positive on love and loss. Like anything that you love, no matter what it is, who it is, there's a possibility that you could lose it. You could lose this job that you love. You could lose it due to budget cuts. You could lose it due to just being laid off or just being mistreated and having to, walk away. You could lose your partner. You could lose your sister. You could lose your best friend, whether it be losing them via death or losing them because they have to move away or they got sick or whatever the case may be. It could be you could be an athlete and you got an injury that took you away from the sport that carried you since you were 4 years old in AAU or whatever the case may be. Like there is a potential that you could lose it. There's versions of yourself that you can love and things about yourself that you can love right now, and you could lose that. And so, what's left when you lose something that you love? Um, Usually, initially, a mess is left. A mess is left in my experience for me. And so I will use this video to talk about me and my experience. I'll try to take away from talking about other people and just saying like the PowerPoint presentation. I will keep it personal and I'll keep it relatable so that way um, I can just speak it to myself. So, um, or like y'all can't charge me for what I say because I'll just speak it from my experience. When I lose something that I love, I'm a mess. And this goes back to just being a kid. You ever had a toy or something that you lost that you loved? You ever had a favorite book, favorite coloring book, favorite doll baby, and you can't find it? I remember when I was like 10 years old, maybe, I had a Nintendo DSi XL. Okay, I had the DS. When the XL came out, I got the XL. And this may have been my second DSi XL, but I can't really remember if it was my second one or not. But anyway, one time we went to the park. We went to this party at the park and it got late and I was carrying a car seat and my DS was in the car seat. Anyway, I remember hearing something fall, but I didn't look. Like I heard it. I didn't know it was my DS, but I heard something fall. So I'll get home. I'm in the car. I'm like, I don't got my DS. I don't got my DS. And I told mom, I was like, I know I left it at the park. She was like, nope, I'm not. The park was out of town. We didn't even live there. She was like, I'm not going back to that park. You should have been more responsible. Oh my I was so upset. I was crying. I held that grudge against her for at least 2 weeks. Like, I didn't want to talk to her. I don't want to try your food. I don't want to be your friend. Like, this is she didn't buy it. My godparents bought it for me. So I'm like, because first of all, that costs a lot of money. And two, like, that's the DSi XL. Like, I was playing on that, I had games. I had like the little puppy that you take care of. And it's just like, anyway, that was something that I loved, something that I lost. And I was a mess after that. I was crying. I felt, because whatever you love, like it takes up a certain amount of space in your life. So now I don't got nothing to do. My sister got hers, but I don't have nothing to do. And so it just, I don't know how I got over it, but you get over it. And the thing about when you lose something that you love, the people who will try to be there for you, they will say things like, oh, it's going to be okay. Or, things are going to get better. Let's say I used to be a basketball player or a runner or something. And I can't run no more because I got injured or I got sick. Like, it's going to be okay. You're going to be all right. Even though what they're saying may be true, it may be so true what they're saying. And in your head, you can make sense of it. But what you feel in your body, the grief, the feelings, like the void, they're not, it's like they're magnets just like repelling against each other. Like what I'm thinking and what you're saying and what I'm feeling are just like, they're not, you're telling me that I'm going to be okay, but I don't feel okay. You're telling me that it's going to get better, but I feel horrible. And so the battling of the mind and the body, like those experiences or mind and heart, whatever you want to call it, it's a part of the process when you just lose something. I will say one of the negative impacts of me just creating in my mind as a kid, like don't love anything so that way if you lose it, it won't hurt you, or is I created like distant relationships. Like my friends were only so close. Um, my family was only so close, and I think it even stopped me from even love like getting too close with myself. Because then, like if you think about it, like if I disappoint myself or do something to myself, am I even emotionally available to feel it? I don't know. I'm not put together. I'm not this healed whole guru who has all the answers. I'm just a human out here trying to figure out this experience and how to get it together and find my purpose or whatever they say in all the books and movies and blah blah blah. But all that good stuff at the same time. Um so if you're someone who is experiencing like a loss, or you have experienced loss, or maybe you've created, the negative belief that, it just stay back, don't even get too close, so that way I can manage, the loss better. As someone who has studied mental health and read a lot of books, this is not for your good, and it may keep you feeling quote unquote safe right now, but it's definitely stunting your growth, stunting your evolution, because as deep as the losses and the grief has been, it's like it weighs a lot. Um, the level of love that you can experience, it could be worth it. It could change your life, and so it's just like if you're keeping yourself away from something that could elevate you or change you or transform you because you're trying to protect yourself, but like sometimes you can get things and it does work out, and it like you could meet someone who's trying to get to know you, whether it's a guy or a girl or whatever, and they're trying to get to know you, but you just keep them so far, and so you could be struggling with something and they could actually be there for you, but you'll never know. And so now you're stuck dealing with something on your own when you could have had support, but you chose not to. You could have had a husband or something. There could be a guy who's really good for you or be a good addition to everything that you have going on, but because the fear of him not, of disappointing you or going away or something, is blocking you from experiencing a very loving and transformative, just the whole point of life. I think the whole point of life is love. Isn't that crazy? The whole point of life is love. I guess love is life. Like everything that is alive, there's some level, you can see the love in it, whether it's a bee, a flower, a human. Like there's so much love in just on a cellular level and how things work together to support and show up and just experience. I don't know if you've ever just loved something like that. That is what this whole thing is about, whether it is a book or a job or a sport or a person. So yeah, I just don't want you to lose sight of what this whole thing is about, and just understanding that loss comes with it. It comes with the life. Like ain't nobody came here and just not lost anything, okay? So you're not alone. It's just like how you're handling it could be causing you to suffer longer. But you are going to suffer. Like just know that you're going to go through things, you're going to lose things, you're going to be disappointed. Like that just comes with life. And I guess kind of the point is like as we get older and mature, we just learn how to handle it better. Like if a 5-year-old, if I take their phone away, or they don't have a phone, iPad or toy away, they're going to throw a tantrum. They don't know how to handle the loss of control, the loss of, the thing that they wanted. Okay, if you take a 13-year-old phone, they might be upset and they might not. I'm like, okay, I don't care, you took my phone. Like they might still feel the same level of like disappointment or sadness, but the way that they handle it. And then as an adult, you lose something more, important. Like you just learn how to handle it better. And it's also just building off of like past experiences that can help with that. And so I can talk about how I lost my cousin. She was 16, I was 23 at the time. Okay, then a couple months later, more than a couple months, maybe like 7 months later, I lost my mom. And me and my mom, we weren't like the TV mother and daughter, blah, 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 but she was still someone that I loved. And I didn't even know how much I loved her until she died. That's the crazy part. Because she did get on my nerves a lot of my life. But we also had our good moments too. So I don't want to disrespect, the love that was there by talking about the irritation that was there, but I just want to be realistic about the experience. And so when she passed away, um, that loss, it shaped my life too because I was in school. I had to move back home. And her kids, her house, all the things fell on me. But that another video. Um, I lost a lot. Not even just her, but just a lot of like the plans that I had and this and that. All of that just it was a lot. And so I got to a point in life where I was like, this is too much. This is too much. What I'm feeling right. Yes, you're gonna get better. Time. Da, 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 da. She's up in heaven. She's all around. Pray. All that. Blah 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 blah. It was all good and it was all true. But what I was feeling inside, no, baby. I was just like, I don't got it in me. Like I don't got it in me to walk with this every day. I can't carry this every day. And I had this person. I don't say person. I guess she was a friend. Well, she was more than a friend. She got me a job. It was a really cool job, really cool position. Something that I didn't even think that I could do. And she gave it to me shortly after because she said she wanted me to have. She lost her mom before, and she wanted me to have something that helped me, not get depressed. Something that I had to show up for in that time because I guess she knew how it was important. I didn't know. I didn't know what was ahead. And so having something to show up for and having people to show up for and doing something that I actually enjoyed was helpful. And I do feel like when I had to show up in those places, there was a level of me that had to numb what was going on to be present. But I still, like, when I had those moments to myself, I still felt just heavy. And there was this song I was listening to by Friday, and it's called Church on Sunday. And one of the words in the chorus is all the wins ain't worth that loss. And so while I'm coaching at my alma mater, while I'm finishing school, while I'm doing all these things, I'm going on a cruise, I'm doing all these things. This is like, these are wins, but they don't feel worth that loss right now. They don't feel worth the loss. And so just, that's one thing I realized about life too, is that in that season, it's like, I gotta do this by myself. Nobody can do it for me. Nobody can get through school for me. Nobody can get me out the bed. Like if I do want to get out the bed and I do want to move forward, I have to do it myself. I live life for me. Nobody can do it for me. And so in that time, I did have a lot of support. I was staying with one of my close friends, so she was doing more than she knew as far as keeping me here because I didn't want to be here no more. I didn't want to do it. It just felt too heavy. It didn't feel worth it. Like a hole that big, so sudden, it just seemed like nah. I understand people got me on this pedestal. Oh, you're supposed to do these great things. You're such a great person. I heard all that, but I wasn't feeling all that. And so I started reading books and I don't know, I just kept waking up and showing up and stuff. Somehow I'm still here. But as time went on, there got to a point where the thoughts of not wanting to be here were pretty, like, I was getting to the point where I was making a plan. And I didn't obviously go through it, but I got really, really close. And as time went on from that moment or that day when I was like, oh no, like I'm about to break, life, the intensity of all the feelings from that, it peaked. It kind of like started to slow down slowly but surely. And I guess it was kind of busy with like having tasks to do. And then I started to find myself like enjoying life again, or like realizing, like feeling less intense, feeling less heavy, going on vacations. um started Things started working out, and I was like, wow, I never thought in the season that I was in back then, I never thought I could feel this again. So a lot of times I'll look back and be like, dang, had I actually did it, then I wouldn't be able to get to see this, or I wouldn't be able to get to feel this, or I wouldn't be able to laugh about this. And so I started seeing like how one decision can really fuck the brand up. Like, no, I'm just kidding. I didn't mean to say that, but I just was starting to realize, like, sometimes when you're in those seasons of like grief or depression or whatever, it's just like the only ration that you have is what you can see in the moment. But life goes on to be bigger than that. And it's just like sometimes waiting it out, and like it will be worth it. And you realize like, wow, like, nah, this was actually cool. Like I'm so glad that I am here. And then you just start appreciating all the good things that happen after the fact, because you remember when you just felt like numb or I guess blocked inside. And so I went through that season. I'm on a high, okay? I'm moving into this nice neighborhood, me and my best friend. I got a job, y'all. I had a job that I worked for 3 months, and I got paid for 3 months, mind you. And I probably worked 3 hours the whole job. I don't know. I don't know how it happened. I might do a story time on that. So you can't tell me that God isn't real. You can't tell me that miracles don't happen, because how is it that I'm getting paid a good salary, okay? The most money I've ever made in my life. And I don't even have to go to work. I don't have to do anything. And they know I'm not doing, I don't know. It only lasts 3 months. So thank you for that. But yeah, so that's why I was just like, dang, like you didn't even know you had this on the other side. Like I was just really, okay, fast forward. Boom, all that ends. Okay, I'm not living with my friend no more. I ain't working no more. I ain't got no, it's just a loss. Everything that I was excited about, everything that was going great, just gone. And so we're back at the loss again. So I'm like, I should have never did this. I should have never did that. Blah blah blah. And so if I'm being honest, I'm in one of those seasons where I'm just like, you know, I'm gonna upload a picture probably like right here of this trail. And the last time I was at this trail was in January, and it was brown and it was cold and the leaves were bare, or the trees were bare. And in January, I was thinking like this is going to be green one day. And it's just like, I mean, it's not green today and it won't be green tomorrow, the next day. But one day, these dead trees will come alive again. And then I went to the park today. It's April. The trees are alive. And it's like, I barely can remember how they look when they were brown. And I'm just like, Ruby, what dies or falls away, like it can come back to life. And so the moments when your life feels bare and empty and stuff, like the emptiness that is there, it can fill up again. It will. I mean, if you look at the cycles of nature, like the 4 seasons, like it's always changing, but the spring is always coming. Like, yeah, we're going to go through summer, we're going to go through fall, everything's going to fall away, we're going to go through winter, everything's going to be dead, but it will bloom again, and you can bloom again. I mean, I don't know how old you are listening to this, but you can look back at a time. You might not have been to the level that I was, but you can look back at a time where you was like, man, that was rough. Oh, I'm so glad I'm out of that. I'm so glad I'm out of school. I'm so glad I'm out of my parents' house. I'm so glad I'm out of that relationship. And look at you now. Or, look back at the time where you bloomed after that. And then you might be at a downtime again, like, all right, what's going on? But one thing I think that has helped me is when something like that does happen, of course, I'm like all hysterical, X, Y, and Z. But then I always try to look for like, okay, what is the message in this? What is this trying to teach me? Where's the area for growth in this? Because if I don't grow, then I'm going to stay stuck. And staying stuck here don't feel good. So in the areas of like grieving a job, a parent, a this, a that, a relationship, friendship, X, Y, and Z, it's just like, okay, what are the feelings that I'm feeling? Okay, well, I know that me laying here in the bed and not getting up and not eating doesn't feel good. So let me learn and just at least go for a walk. It might not feel 1,000%, but it feels 5% better than what I was doing. And so learning to start nurturing myself again. Even learning the lessons, or like, what are the negative thoughts that are feeding this pain in my body, in my chest, in my stomach? Okay, if it's, oh, no, I'm unlovable, nobody loves me, this and like, those thoughts don't feel good. So let's one, they might not be true, and two, let's cancel them out. Okay, this is just hard for me. I was disappointed. This, like, just trying to change the verbiage of it. And so sometimes it could be talking to someone, and it could be like a friend who, says something that really touches you, or a piece of advice, and just take that one piece from that conversation and just be like, okay, well, Brian said this, or Keisha told me this, so it's true. I don't know why you just use those names, but clicking on a YouTube podcast, picking up a book, a quote, verse of the day, something like that. Just little small things to hold on to, and it doesn't change the whole picture. Like, that might hold you on for like a little minute of the day, and then the rest of the day, you sad or whatever, and that's okay. But then the next day, let's try to and forget in 2 minutes of that, or 4 minutes of that, or 8 minutes of like it's just a building thing. Like yeah, so I don't know. I can't promise that life is gonna be peaches and cream and sunshine and rainbows forever and ever, but it's peaks and valleys. And it just comes with it. And so if you know what you're signing up for and you know what to expect, then you might know how to handle it better. You might know how to handle it better. So instead of thinking me like, oh, um, I can't love anything because it's not safe, then I can choose to think like, yes, there is a chance that this could stay and this could work, but I'm willing to see it through because I know I can handle it if it does go. Now that's the thing. Knowing you can handle it. Sometimes your feelings will tell you you can't, but you really can. And you really do. And every day that you get up is you handling it. So there's that. Be mindful. But yeah, your friends gonna tell you all this stuff and they might be telling the truth, but it don't be lining up with the feelings sometimes. It really don't. Like one of my friends got pregnant and I was just telling her like, well, this is what it is. You're gonna be all right. Looking back, I think about if I got pregnant right now. I would not want to hear that. I would like the feelings that I would have. I'm like, you don't understand. This is serious. This is that. And so same thing when my mom died. People were like, oh, with time it'll get better. I don't give a fuck about time getting better. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, my mom is in the ground. I can't ever see her again. Like, what? Like, what do you even know? Like, what? You get to go live your life, and it's easy for you to say you live your life, you do what you want to do, but you don't understand the feeling. So that brings me to the point about feelings. Feelings are just feelings. It's just a feeling. They're not always facts. Um, and they're not forever. Um, the happiness that you feel, and then there's gonna be sadness that you feel. There's gonna be times where you feel content. There's gonna be times where you feel unstable. It's just they just come and go. So also, peep this. Just because something feels good don't mean it's good. So they're not facts. They're not facts. So do what you want with that. But so yeah, it's I don't know, y'all. It just could feel like life is a game or this puzzle that we all try to figure out. Sometimes trying to figure stuff out just takes too much of your energy. It burns you. Sometimes being is the best thing you could do. Being is the safest thing that you could do. Um, when I say just be. Like I literally go to the park and just be. I just look at the clouds and watch them pass and just be a body on the ground staring at the like I'm not trying to do anything. So yeah, love and loss. I've experienced a lot of love in life and a lot of loss in life. And with me not, having kids, I mean, I don't know if that's in the future or not. With me not experiencing like, I don't even have to go as far as marriage, but like a romantic type of love. I feel like there's levels to what I have to experience because from what I hear, like, the bond between the mother and child and all that, like I hear that that's like a different level. And so I can't speak to it, but maybe there's more out there and I just don't want, my past to color my future for me and or to keep out what's for me. So love and loss, yeah. Loss, I'm talking about it as if this just this thing, but it's a mother effort. This moment of silence. It could be like, even in the sense of having a baby, like the future that you just lost, the freedom. Even if it is a job, it's just like, oh, like you were so close to being this or moving this or the relationships or even the familiarity of just, walking past this bench every day or the little small things like. And so I would like to be mindful of when I'm in spaces like that, the decisions that I'm making, the conversations that I'm entertaining, um, because like a piece of you has been removed. So I feel like it's like fertile ground right there. And so sometimes if you're in the energy of despair and this and that, you can attract what's also in that energy. Or you could take something that looks good and start to try to fill it with that. And just because it looks good, don't mean it is good. Just because it feels good, don't mean it is good. And so even if it is something like listening to Rod Wave or some like depressing music or whatever, like it might start to feel good. It's like, yeah, they understand my pain, but all at the same time, it's just keeping you stuck in that loop. It could be a guy you met, and yeah, he's saying all the right things or whatever. He's saying whatever to make you, whether it's distracting you from the loss that you have, or it's just, I don't know, he's just seeming exciting or something to just cling to because you just lost something. So it's just like, I don't know, you want to hurry up and fix it and feel it. And the whole time you missed out on him just sucking you dry or just all the red flags and signs. And I've seen it, and it's sad. Um, and it can be lonely when you are going through loss of anything or anyone, and you feel like the people who are talking to you, they hear you, but they don't feel you. And I just want you to know you're not alone. It's a universal feeling. People like to put like, oh, well, you lost your dog. Well, you lost a child. Loss is loss is loss is loss is loss. Grief is grief is grief is grief is grief. And go on Google and type in your situation as somebody who lost something similar or someone who could relate to you. So you're never alone. Um, and the trees do bloom again. They bloom again. And one part, you could feel lost without that piece of your life anymore. You could feel lost without that job, lost without the person, lost without the, your outlet. Let's say your outlet was running and you broke your leg or whatever. Let's say your outlet was crocheting and you lost your fingers. Like, you could feel like, well, what am I supposed to do now? Where am I supposed to do now? I don't know. I don't know. Everybody is different. I think that's opportunity for pivoting and just growing beyond all that you've known. Or, yeah, it's an opportunity to grow beyond what you've known. It's just like, yes, that was great and it kept you and it did all these things. But now that you don't have that, this is an opportunity to learn something else, to do something else, to create a new skill or strengthen a new weakness. Um, so yeah, love and loss, man, that's like one of the realest things of life. Because we're growing every day, so we're always growing. And as you grow, you gotta lose. You gotta make room for the new things that come in sometimes. And it's a blessing when things and people get to grow with you. So be mindful and I guess grateful for that. And so if you are at a place in life where the glass is just looking half empty, they say gratitude is what fills the cup. Gratitude is what fills the cup. So finding those small things to be grateful for, it's gonna get you through. So y'all pray for me as I get through. Okay. Um and yeah, I don't really know if it was helpful. I definitely did a lot of rambling. I definitely just talked about myself. I definitely talked in general at the same time, but I hope I validated some feelings and just like, I don't know. But anyway, what do I normally say? Be kind, loving, and caring to yourself and others. Let's make the world a better place. Be kind to yourself in this season. Be caring to yourself in this season. And be loving to yourself and to others in this season. Bye.